You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
What's up, Black and White sports fans? John Matrix here, and I am back with another video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Also, check out the join button for channel memberships and check out the merch. And when you get your merch, use the discount code MARXISSUTS, S-U-X, and I'm going to give you 10% off your purchase, folks. Let's get into this. Woke Sports, man. Woke Sports, man. Ever since 2020, man. 2020 going forward, I guess, is going to be the day that Woke Sports took a giant leap for the worse. The giant leap for the worse. Of course, it was an election year, man. And, you know, but some people, they just can't separate politics and sports. You know, when you suck at your job in sports, it is pretty easy just to bring up the name Donald Trump, and you think that's gonna actually give you a pass for your poor performance. So now enter Jerry Stackhouse, the head basketball coach at Vanderbilt University for the men. He was a former NBA All-Star, played at UNC. I was a fan of Jerry Stackhouse when he was at UNC, and he was a very, very good NBA basketball player. But however, he is not a very good college basketball coach. Actually, folks, he stinks at being a college basketball coach. Jerry Stackhouse, 2 seasons in at Vanderbilt, and he is 16-31 and a pathetic, awful 4-23 in SEC conference play. And you have to know that when you don't win games, folks, the fans are not going to be happy. But you know what? Jerry Stackhouse, I guess, he can't take criticism. Okay? Now, you guys that watch this channel here, and you guys in general, not just really this channel here, if you cheer for a sports team, you do expect that team to win games, right? You don't expect them to lose. You don't expect your team to go 4-23 in conference play, no matter which level it is, okay? And when you see a horrible record like that, the blame is going to go to the coach. It just is. But maybe, you know, Vanderbilt just isn't good at any kind of sports, you know, because look at the football team. They were so bad they had to go get a soccer kicker to kick for them, and it became a woke nightmare, okay? But anyway here, you'll see Vanderbilt's Jerry Stackhouse blames Trump supporters for criticism in basketball. They're criticizing Jerry Stackhouse because he's not doing a very good job at coaching basketball. I just told you the record there, 16-31, 4-23 in conference play. But let's read this here, and we'll just kind of break down what he's actually saying here, because he's just trying to shift the blame to politics as to the reason why his team sucks, and it's not his fault. He's not blaming himself. He's blaming you, the 75 million people that voted for Donald Trump. This is woke sports. This is why sports is an absolute disaster. And I'm pretty sure, you know, that the 2 fans of Vanderbilt that's watching, I guess, because I don't know how many fans actually really care about their basketball team. But anyway, it says here, and this comes from Outkick here, and this actually was an article from the Atlantic, but they're behind a paywall, so you got to actually pay. And I'm not going to actually pay for that, okay? So it says here, Stackhouse, 46, was an excellent player at North Carolina and a pretty darn good pro, but his playing success has not transitioned to coaching, as Vanderbilt is just 16-31 in his first 2 seasons and a pathetic 4-23 in the SEC. Now, Stackhouse deserves more of a chance to fail. A coach can't be judged in a season and a half. What's annoying here isn't the lousy win-loss record, it's how Stackhouse tries to sound so defiant about it. For starters, Stackhouse called out veteran basketball insider Jeff Goodman, formerly of ESPN and now of Stadium. Along with Goodman, he called out fans who are angry that Vanderbilt stinks. You see, folks, he won't actually, you know, call out himself and his staff and the players. It has to be the fans' fault that they stink. But anyway, this is what he says about Jeff Goodman. Quote, maybe someone like a Jeff Goodman said something and I've got him blocked anyway. So now a fan wants to know what Jeff Goodman says. So he tags me. Now you're blocked too. I don't want to see this on my timeline. I don't want the noise. Don't want the hate. Y'all mad your man got fired. Man, that's the real world. So a fan just wants to know what happened. And then Jerry Stackhouse, I'm assuming that he blocked him on Twitter, because I guess, these SJW woke athletes and woke coaches, they get triggered. A fan asks a question and then Jerry Stackhouse doesn't want to answer it. So he blocks him on Twitter. Okay. But let's kind of go ahead and sum this up. He actually shifts the blame now to the 75 million plus people that voted for Donald Trump, because the man cannot take criticism. He can't take responsibility for his 16-31 record. Okay. Now it says here, Stackhouse wasn't done shifting the blame. Up next, to 75 million people who voted for Trump. In other words, Stackhouse seemed to imply if people are dumb enough to vote for Trump, they're dumb enough to question his knowledge of basketball. And, oh yeah, if they voted for Trump, they must hate Stackhouse. He says this, quote, "How am I not qualified when I played basketball at the highest level and played under some Hall of Fame coaches? I don't have the acumen to know what I'm doing, what I'm looking at. What's the answer?" And it becomes the things we see right in front of us, man. All I can say is 75 million people voted for Trump. That's all I can say. You ain't fooling me. I know what it's about. A lot of you hate everything we did when we came here about the staff, the diversity of the staff. It was this or that. And I like to think I know a little something about building teams and what organizations should look like. I've worked and played for some of the best organizations, close quote. And sorry about that. I don't know why the screen kept jumping up and down and flickering, but anyway. So Jerry Stackhouse believes that since he actually played for Hall of Fame coaches and he knows basketball, and I'm pretty sure he knows a lot about basketball, he thinks that's going to make him a good coach. No, it doesn't. I mean, think of this, folks. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. Is he actually qualified to be a good executive in the NBA? No, Michael Jordan is actually pretty pathetic when it comes to judging talent. I mean, it is what it is. He's just not that good at it. And he's the greatest basketball player of all time. So Jerry Stackhouse, just because you played under Hall of Fame coaches or whatever, doesn't make you qualified to be a good coach. And actually, you know what? For the most part, guys that actually had much lesser talent than Jerry Stackhouse, those are the guys that are usually actually pretty good at coaching, Usually the all-star players, like a Jerry Stackhouse, they don't actually turn out to be very good coaches. Very, very few of them, But this is just Jerry Stackhouse not taking responsibility for his pathetic record. So it's just going to be easy to shift the blame to anybody that voted for Donald Trump. This is woke sports, man. This is woke sports. But when Jerry Stackhouse gets fired, if he doesn't turn things around, who is he going to blame then for the reason he got fired? I'm not calling for the man to be fired. He's been there 2 years. I don't know how long his contract is. I don't really care how long his contract is. But I will say this. If I'm the athletic director at Vanderbilt and I read these comments from Jerry Stackhouse, I'm thinking to myself, man, you're not going to take any responsibility for your team losing? How do you expect to win if you can't take responsibility for losing? These fans, if they want to criticize you for your record, your 16-31 record, 4-23 in conference play, and you can't handle that, how in the world do you expect to win games? That's what I really want to know. How do you expect to win games? But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans. Jerry Stackhouse can't take responsibility for his losing record at Vanderbilt. He's going to get woke and he's just going to blame Trump supporters. 75 million people. Honestly, folks, I voted for Trump. I didn't even know that Jerry Stackhouse was even coaching at Vanderbilt. That's probably a reason why they're irrelevant. And he's irrelevant being a head coach. He just is. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.